Hello everybody, this is Kathleen and I'm glad to be here today. I'm going to show you this pretty journal. It's going to go up on Etsy and I'm tickled to get it done. I've been working on two of these. Actually, I have another one and it's almost done, but the cover, I have to do the cover still, put the closure on it. I also have a second sunflower journal that I'm going to finish probably today, and all of these are going to be up on my Etsy shop, so check over there. Yeah, this is kind of like a summer farm journal. I think I've mentioned before I grew up on a farm in Idaho. My dad was a potato farmer, and I love farm things. So this, I kind of was going for an aesthetic like my grandma's house. Yeah, anyway, so this is a recycled Reader's Digest book, and it's got 3 signatures. It's pretty chunky, but not overstuffed. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. It's 7 3/4 inch by 5.5 inches. And it has a 1 1/4 inch spine. It has 128 pages altogether, 28 pockets and tucks, and 45 pieces of ephemera. So I've just used one of these jeans buttons and a hair tie to close it. So let's take a look inside. So I have this little cottage, it kind of reminded me of my grandma's house, actually. And a food label and just a little wallpaper tag. Here's just a little journaling card here in the front. Plenty of room to put other things in. So a fabric ruffle and a little charm here. It's a little milk can. These graphics came from the Graphics Fairy. And this is the check stub, 1926, from a business check. I've used coffee dye, and I have done some like burlap stenciling, plenty of writing room, a little bit of jute twine there. This is a little fold over pocket with just a little bee tag. Avocado paper. I love this picture of the cow. Oh my gosh, it is such a handsome cow. Yeah, and there's just a little paper clip and a little calling card. This is a vintage, in 1942, I think, is the date on these. It's just a vintage check and pretty journal paper there. This just kind of folds all together. And all of these things, you know, can be switched out if you want to replace them with your own ephemera. I love this picture too. Yeah, really do. A little bit of a clothing tag there. Just a journal paper. I've done some napkin decoupage on that. Here's a little pocket with blue chip trading stamps and a fussy cut. Just a little printed journal paper with a field mouse. Here's a little flip out. The other side of that. The bee scat. This is a vintage drug label from the Rexall store. We had a Rexall, it was Joy Drugs, I think, in Rexburg. Anyway, yeah, it was a Rexall pharmacy in Rexburg. This is a really pretty little dangle. It has this tiny little chain on it. Yeah, and a little butterfly. This is that same image and the same milk can. This is, I can't remember the scrapbooking paper, but it was a kit. Yeah, fun, but the images were the same. I've just done this patchwork, like a little masterboard pocket here. This sticker, this is such a pretty chicken, and the graphics vary. And this vintage note paper. Another flip out. Here's September 2020. It's a little pig. This is a vintage index card and a vintage receipt from Fisher's Krusty Pie Bakery in Baltimore, Maryland. This is just a tag, napkin here, and a fussy cut here. This is from that 1938 newspaper, and just another little image. This is an envelope on this side. So it's just a homemade envelope to kind of make some more room for papers. It just clips with this Tim Holtz clip. And there's, you know, a tuck spot on that side too. Here's a little, yeah, fun gingham, or not gingham, calico print paper. A little bit of a collage here. And a journal card. And just another vintage note paper from my stash. And this is a little cluster and a tuck here. This, I don't know where this came to me in a Happy Mail somehow, so that just is tucked in there. Here's more of that paper, pretty paper. There's a pocket on this side, a couple of journaling cards. This is one of Stacy's vintage flashcard set, and I've just done a little cluster on that and tucked that under here. I love these chickens. Kind of heavy on the chickens in this book. It's just a little library catalog card. Love is forever. That is true. And this is just some hand-stained journal paper, writing paper, tucks in there. This is from a domestic sewing. It must have been a brand of sewing machine. Anyway, it's from the instruction book, May 2020. I love the way this pocket turned out. This is a beautiful image, and fussy cut, a receipt, and another little milkmaid, and just a little charm there. And this is just some printed paper, designer paper that I've made, this tuck. And here's one of those recipe cards that I have sanded a little to make it more grungy. This is some vintage ledger paper. And this was a fun pocket to make. Oh my gosh, it really was. Okay, so here's the tag. And I just fussy cut I think it was possibly even an Easter bunny, but it reminds me of the jackrabbits around here. Intent on behaving badly, definitely. A little head of lettuce there, some trading stamps. That was fun. And then this is just a vintage book and paper for journaling. And then I just have made this kind of collaged pocket, but I used our food ad. Yeah, it was very, I don't know, vintage. The type was vintage, and yeah, so I just used the food ad from the mail this week and made this. I think it turned out really cute. Love it. That it's in there. Okay, just some washi tape to come home. That's what that says. And here is on this side, just a top tuck. And this was some vintage recipe clippings that I have in my stash. And this is for ice cream sauces and toppings. I almost kept this because I thought, well, that might be good to have, but I'm going to let it go because I shouldn't eat that kind of thing anymore. So that goes up in there. And this is a vintage prescription for Emprin. I don't know if anybody else remembers Emprin, but yeah, I used to have to take that when I was a teenager for my period cramps. So yeah, that's a real woman's kind of thing. I think she was taking it for a headache, but yeah, here we go. This is a beautiful Tim Holtz paper with just a chicken. Rag out of beef. This is from a vintage recipe card collection kind of thing, hand typed. Yeah, there's the other part of that sewing. And this also turned out really cute. This is an image from the Graphics Fairy, and again, I just used our food ad text and some napkin, and then I slit that so that I could fit these journal cards in here, little pieces of ephemera. Well, yeah. And then on the back, there is also just a little tuck spot. So that turned out cute, I thought. Little flip out here. And this is just a vintage calendar page, September 2016. Came out of an old planner. And I just have, let's see now, how did it get that? There we go. It goes this way. It's on there like that. Yeah. Here's side pocket, double pocket with that cow. That's how much I liked it. I used it twice. Yeah. And this is some really beautiful antique lace. And just a little journaling paper tucked in there. And this is a fold over belly band tuck. So I've done a little cluster here. It's just a coffee dyed index card. And this is that check that is 1926. Another little cluster here, and some vintage ephemera, and just a journal card paper under there. And the final page has some lace on it, and there's the back is just plain. That's this Farmhouse journal, and thanks so much for your attention and for spending your time with me. And I will list this on my Etsy, and then I will be back with the other two almost momentarily, couple days. Thanks. Bye.